turn. Yes.
I'm in sixth grade. I like to listen to music. I like doing art. And I like sleeping. I like cooking.
Did you say sleeping?
Yeah, like reading. I like cooking and baking stuff. And I want to. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes people have an idea what they would like to do. Sometimes it changes. Devin, tell me about you, man.
I like video games and
What's your favorite video game? Like, what are they playing now? Video games. My daughter used to like Minecraft, and of course, she likes. My son, he just would stay up all night with what's the Call of Duty. Good gracious almighty. Be up 3, 4 in the morning screaming and yelling. I bought him the chair and the headphones, trying to keep it down. Didn't help. What are they playing out there now? What kind of video games are they playing? Because my daughter's a big Xbox person. What are they playing now?
Okay.
What's it called?
Okay. Madden.
Didn't they revamp Call of Duty? Put some better graphics on it or something like that? One of the Call of Duty games, one of the ladies, there's actually an actual soldier, the one with the arm. She's got a prosthetic arm, but she lost actually in battle in real war. So they made a hero out of her, and she's the boss. She's the boss. So let me tell you about me. For those that have not met me, I have been in banking for a very long time. I like to teach skills about banking, give you a better understanding of personal finance and how money works. Is it ever too soon to know that?
No.
It's never too soon, right? Because the habits that you have now don't really go away, they just carry over into your older life. So it's almost like I am exactly who you are, just an older version, right? So one of the things I wish I could have done was have someone tell me about some habits, financial habits that I need to obtain so I could be better at money when I'm older. All right. So I love movies. I took my daughter to see Predator Badlands last night. Pretty good. We'll go see Zootopia 2 next time. So I love movies. I love music. I love video games too. Phone games, so probably a little bit more than I should. I love going fishing. I love traveling. I love getting ready to get on the plane and go somewhere to experience something I've never experienced. So hopefully I can save more money to be able to do more of that and bring my daughter along so she can have some of these wonderful experiences. So that's just a little bit about me. And I definitely love dogs. So anybody love animals?
Do you have any dogs?
Anybody have any pets?
No.
Goldfish, guinea pigs, any kind of pet? Cats? Because it's a responsibility having animals. I had 2 dogs and 4 guinea pigs. And it's expensive to have a dog. So if you want to have a dog or a goldfish or a guinea pig or a cat, there's a cost involved in that, When we would go on family vacation, I can't just go on vacation for a week and a half with my family. I had to think about the pets. So you have to go to a boarding house, find out how much it costs for a big old German Shepherd. How much does it cost for a bully? How much it costs for 4 guinea pigs? And I have to pay for them and their food and for individual care for about a week and a half. And that costs just as much as going on vacation. So and not only that, if you have a pet, if you can't treat that pet like it's your family member, when it comes to getting groomed, taking them to the vet, if they have an emergency, and it can cost thousands of dollars. It's not worth having a pet. All right? Because I'm gonna treat my pets just like I treat my family. They're gonna get the same level of care and love as everybody else. So just something to think about if you're ever thinking about having a pet. All right, so let's kind of get into a little bit. I'm gonna make sure everybody get a raffle ticket. So at the end of me talking to you guys today, and you talking back to me, I'm gonna raffle off a couple of small items. There you go.
Thank you.
Devin, there you go. Just hang on to that. Don't do anything with it right now. I want to kind of review some of what we talked about the last time. Kind of the reason why we're here is this is a financial literacy session. This to give you an understanding of what's going on out in the world. To give you understanding on what you will definitely be dealing with probably within the next less than 10 years. So you get through junior high school, you get through high school, what's the next thing that's going to happen for you? Even if you go to college, the way things are in college now, you probably will have to get an apartment if they don't have dorms. And if you do get on campus, you have campus housing, it might be for a year or two. And then it's like, you got to find your apartment. We're starting to see that trend right now in colleges. Wouldn't you all say so? They'll make sure freshmen, maybe sophomores have housing, but in some schools, you have to provide housing. So what comes with housing? A job, right? And with the job, you have to know how to budget your money so you can pay for your light bill, your water bill, your Wi-Fi, all the things you like to do, food, gas, all that fun stuff, right? Y'all ready to be adults? Y'all ready for that life? So why not prepare and learn for it now, right? That way, when it happens, when 7th graders turn into 12th graders, 12th graders turn into college students turn into working adults now that have to come out here and contribute. You have an understanding on what you need to do. Would you like to have a head start into that? Get a good understanding? Well, let's do this. Let's do a little icebreaker. Pull out your phones. You talked about Blooket, right?
Does everybody have a phone? Do we need to loan any? We've got some tablets we can loan you if you need it.
I saw them on their phones earlier.
Okay, so everybody's good.
I wonder if I should do the same one as last week since we have a couple of new folks. Plus, it's a good refresher of kind of what we covered.
I agree.
Yeah, and the questions that I did, I don't really like using other people's sets. So let's use this basic foundations of money again. Santa's Workshop. I don't have that one. All right, we'll swipe gold. Does this TV have volume? Does volume come from this?
Yeah, it'll come from the TV.
Okay, let's turn it up.
So
What we played last time, did it play the music from the
it should have.
Yeah, I think we played last time. We have the same issue.
Did it do it last time it was the same issue last time?
Yeah, we didn't have music then either.
I believe I thought
Okay.
we could hear it. Hang me on. There you go. We good.
There we
Go.
go.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah. I like the music. It makes it a little more. Jason and Devin is in. Carson is in. Carson and Jason and Devin. Okay. Omega. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Undone. All right, you ready to start? All right. Have you ever played this ghost fight game on Book It?
To go.
We're going to ask you a question. You get the question right. You get a package. You open it. You can get gold, lose gold, swipe gold. All right. Doesn't matter how fast you are. At the end of the game, it comes down to the last second. Whoever have the most gold win. All right. There's questions that's involved in that. These are financially related questions. So this is what's important. I want you. Oh, I thought that was you talking. Make sure you read the question. Everybody hear me? It's important to me that you read the question, but not just read the question, read every single answer because they might be tricky. Plus, the lesson is in the question. Okay? Didn't you win the last time? All right, this should be a breeze for you. I think she plays too. Make sure the top 3 get a cool water bottle. Just take a guess. We're going to give you the correct answer if you get it wrong. Don't worry about that. And if you get it wrong, make sure you look at the answer, okay? All right. All right, you read the answers. Now take a stab at it based on what you think. Don't spend too much time. We're gonna give you the correct answer. Look now, look what the answer says. What does it say? Okay, so now when you get the answer again, you'll know. Okay. He said, "Don't jinx us. Your mom might swipe me in the last second." All right, got a minute. You know, Pam,
Well, I do know her. We met at a Stars event.
she's on some Chick-fil-A's.
She does. She was going over it.
We came into college together.
Really?
A freshman year at Fayetteville State.
Oh,
We sure did. Yeah. Please do so. Kason, where you at, buddy? Kason, you did your thing, man. Congratulate Kason. Devin, you got second. Omega, you still doing your thing. Here you go. Congratulate each other. Celebrate each other. For you folks that just played this, was there a question about anything that you want to kind of go into a little bit? Something you was unaware of? Thanks for saying that. How many of you have a bank account? You have one? How many of you know what a debit card is? That's how you spend your money, right? So what type of account does it come out of? So if you go to Chick-fil-A and buy something to eat, you pull out your debit card, where's that money coming from? What type of account? No, you have a debit card. You went by the store, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, you bought something to eat. That money's got to come from somewhere. Where is it coming from? Checking account. All right. A checking account is for the purpose of the money that you're going to pay bills with, spend, whatever you have to do, right? A savings account is to hold on to a portion of your money when you get income. You understand? You only touch it in case there's an emergency. Does that make sense? So we was talking about debit cards earlier. You go to Chick-fil-A and buy you a combo. You didn't have enough money in your checking account. What happens? Huh? We got couldn't get, huh? It can decline, but sometimes it don't. What happens when that happens? When your account goes to negative? Well, you're not in debt, but you're in a negative. So what happens? What does the bank do? What a credit union do? Not necessarily. So you had, let's say you had $11 in your checking account. All right, that's your balance or your available balance. All right. And how much does it cost to go to Chick-fil-A to get a combo with a large lemonade? Give me a guess. What about $12? Let's just say it's $12.50. All right. So now you have a balance of $11. You spent $12.50. This pen doesn't write that well. $12.50. That's for your food. You only had $11. All right. So how much are we in the negative? Do your math. Where are my math people at? $1.50. All right. So you negative, parentheses means negative. Okay. You negative $1.50. But guess what else happened? What's the bank or credit union going to do? They're going to charge you a fee. It's going to be about $35. So now minus $35. So now you're in the negative by $36.50 over a $12.50 sandwich. You understand how that works now? So why is it important to look at your bank statement Make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. Look at your account. Look at your iPhone. Know how much money you have. Know how much you spent. Check it off. Okay? You got to do that because a lot of young folks make mistakes with not understanding how to use a debit card, where the money's coming from, what happens if you don't have enough money. Now, when you have a relationship with someone at the bank, right? I'm your banker. You come in, Mr. Fisher. I made a mistake. I thought I had more money. Something came out I wasn't expecting. All right. You come see me in the office. I may not always wear a tie. Sometimes I like to dress like this at work. I said, I tell you what, young man, I know who you are. I open your account. You're a good student. You're a good person. I know your parents. I'm going to waive this for you and give you a break on it. I'm not going to charge it, but I'm only do it one time. All right. It's a pat on the hand. So I'm going to waive that fee. So now I'll just say, just deposit some money to bring the account back in the negative. So just deposit $1.50 or more. That way your account's not in the negative. Okay. That's why it's so important when I talked the last time about when you have an account, know the person at the bank or the credit union that you have your money with, because they can help you so much. All right. Sometimes your debit card can get hacked or frauded. Did you know that there were technology where I can walk past your wallet and I can steal your debit card information? Did you know that? Yes. And I can duplicate a whole nother credit card and wipe you out. What if that happens? What are you going to do? You're going to do what? You're going to call somebody at your bank, right? Which, having that relationship, you're going to call me if I work at the bank or whoever your banker is. I'm going to look at your account. I'm going to say, you know what? You don't have anything to worry about, because how many days do you have to dispute something you didn't do? Was one of the questions. 60 days, right? But you want to find out, the sooner you find out, you call somebody, we're like, yeah, that was fraudulent. We're going to destroy your card. We're going to give you a brand new one, and we're going to put the money back in your account. You have nothing to worry about. Did you know that? You are protected. When you have a bank account, you are protected from those type things, but you have to let us know within 60 days. Really, the sooner the better, right? And if it caused you to have some overdraft fees, we'll waive all that. So I always talk about the importance of knowing someone at your financial institution that can help you navigate your accounts, fix something, help you understand something, give you knowledge that's going to help you be better at having an account, because you're responsible for your account, right? You have to understand how it works. That's very important. And there's students right now younger than you are that have bank accounts, that have debit cards, that make purchases, that understand that they're not going to let their account get below a certain dollar amount so they don't overdraw. The sooner you understand that, the better you're going to be tomorrow, next week, next year. That's where it starts, at being responsible for the money that you have. Thank you for bringing that up. Did you learn something new? Yes, indeed. So at the end of the month, what does a financial institution, which is a bank or credit union, what do we send you at the end of the month? Huh? A what? A fee? No. I saw some of you get the question right or wrong. So at the end of the month, what do banks or credit unions send its customers or members? A bank statement. Yes. What is that? So let me tell you what a bank statement is. Every time you put money in your account, every time you withdrew money from your account, every time you use that debit card, it documents that transaction, the date and the time. You understand that? So if you went to Chick-fil-A 3 times last week, it's going to be on your bank statement. Okay? Whatever you did that month is going to be on your bank statement. And when you get that bank statement, you're going to look at it. Yep, I ate here. I did this. I did this. I did this. I did this. I don't recognize this. I didn't do this. I did not buy a surfboard in California. Why is this on my bank statement? What are you going to do? You're going to call your bank and say, I think I've been compromised, right? Because now you're within that 60-day protection zone. We're going to refund your charges. It can take up to 10 days. Realize that you're compromised, and a couple things can happen. If it's a debit card compromise, we'll give you a whole new debit card and destroy the old one, right? In some cases, we will close the account and open up a whole new account, depending on what type of compromise your account had. Because we live in a world now that's very technically, there's a lot of technical crime. People are getting smart on how to access your money. So it's up for you to know everything that's going on with your account, and you to have a relationship with someone at the bank to say, hey, this happened, I don't recognize it. Can we fix it? And we're going to fix it. All right. That's why you have to look at your bank statement to make sure everything is accurate. Okay. Now, we talked about what type of fee you get if you use your debit card and there's not enough money to cover. Man, we did that $35 example. What kind of fee is that called? I saw you get the answer right. Overdraft fee. Yes. And that can happen for anything. An overdraft fee is, some banks will let it go through, but they're going to charge you. Some banks will just decline it, depending on if you have what's called overdraft protection. Some of them will let you overdraw, but they'll give you a certain amount of time to put the money back without charging you a fee. All right. Some will waive it a time or two, but you can't be in the habit of always overdrafting, because if you're always overdrafting, then you're not being responsible with your account. You're not looking at what you're spending your money on. So it's called an overdraft fee. Now, for people that still write checks, it's also called an NSF fee. NSF stands for what? Non-sufficient funds. NSF means you bounce a check. You ever heard that term, bounce a check? Well, some of us older folks know what it means to bounce a check. It means you wrote a check, but there wasn't enough money in your account, and so it overdrafted. All right. It's all the same thing. You overdrafted. I think it's pretty fair to say that everybody know what an example of a need is, right? Is a PS5 a need or a want? Is a mobile phone a need or a want? It depends. You can live without it. I didn't have one growing up. I didn't have video games growing up. I had the things that I needed. I had food. I had clothing. I had a place to live. I had school clothes. Those were needs. Everything else you really can live without. Okay. So it's a luxury, right? It's a very important thing to have to communicate, to say, Mom, come pick me up from school, whatever. I'm out of basketball practice. In that sense, it becomes somewhat of a need, the need for communication. But there's other ways to communicate without a phone. So if it ever got down to it, you don't always have to have a phone. All right. You grew up in a culture where now phones are kind of part of the deal. I didn't get a phone until I graduated college, but that's when they started. I'm dating myself. When did you get your first phone? I got mine in '88, but that's when they first came out. Yeah, sure enough. I had one in my car. I worked at a radio station before I got into banking. I worked at Foxy 99 radio station, and because I was selling advertising, they wanted me to put a phone in my car. So I didn't have the bag phone. My mom had a bag phone. I had the car, and it was like 50 cents a minute. It was crazy. Yeah, so you can't be on the phone, whatever. No, you can't do that. You couldn't. Yeah, so now you can talk anywhere you want to, long distance. So this is another important. Remember we talked about if you overdraw your account, you went to Chick-fil-A, you only had $11, spent something for $12, and it overdrafted. How can we prevent that? Even if you go into the negative, how can we stop that fee from happening? I'll show you something. All right. We're back at the same place. You have an $11 balance. You went to Chick-fil-A. Boom, you didn't have enough money. So here's what happens. Instead of you going into the negative, now this is from your checking account, right? Your checking account. You didn't have enough money in your checking account, but guess what? You have a savings account, and you've been saving a portion of your money to go in savings in case of emergencies. So you can have your bank link that for overdraft protection, right? Here's how it works. The savings account just stand there and it's like, oh, I got this. That's how it works. So we take your savings account, and it comes to the rescue to transfer some money to cover the difference. All right. So now you don't have to worry about getting that fee. So if you have a checking account, make sure that your bank link your savings account, because I know you have money in your savings account because you're always going to save 10% of your money. So that money comes to the rescue. Does that mean you want to continuously overdraft? It's just a courtesy to help you from gathering fees. Because I've had customers that used to get over $200 a month in overdraft fees when they didn't have money in savings. Eventually, they couldn't afford it. They had to get their account closed. That made life more difficult. Bad financial habits, right? We don't want you to be that. Are you learning something from me today? All these things are important because we have to teach you this now, because soon you're going to have a part-time job or you're going to be doing something for money, right? You're going to get money from somewhere, from birthdays or chores or something. You have to know how to manage that, because if you can't manage that, how are you going to be able to manage your career money, your NIL money, right? You know what NIL money is, right? So you say you want to play pro sports, right? So when you're in college, colleges would say, hey, we would want you to come play for us, all right? I know you've been getting looks. If you come play for us, then we will give you $500,000. Some places like the high ballers, like your Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunters, theirs was in the millions at Colorado. So depending on what kind of value you have in athletics, the bigger your NIL package is. And a lot of athletes take the best offer that schools are offering so that they can have more money. Because of the NCAA rules now, athletes are getting paid based on their value. So it's becoming a little more difficult if you are a five-star athlete coming out of high school. College coaches are going to look at what's called the transfer portal. You ever heard of the transfer portal? Transfer portals are other athletes that's played sports already, and they're a big pool of athletes, and they're going to get pulled. They're ready to play right now. So it makes it a little more difficult for the person just coming out of high school, right, to play sports. It's more competition. So when you're playing, if you plan on playing sports, you're going to understand what the NIL means. NIL means name, image, and likeness. Your name, your image, your likeness. You're getting paid a certain dollar amount to play for that school. And if they sell jerseys and all that kind of stuff, you can actually end up getting more money. You understand how that works now? A lot of money for a young person that could be 18, 19, 20 has never had. So you come from a place where you had $0, so you didn't really have that kind of money. And because you're good at a sport, doesn't matter what sport it is. It could be lacrosse, it could be any sport, right? But football and basketball tend to bring a large amount of NIL money. You got to know what to do with it. All right. So that's what NIL is. You talked about playing pro sports. You talked about playing basketball. That's a college thing. That's when you get paid to be in college to play that sport for that college. All right? So you learn something new. What is NIL? Name, image, and likeness. All right? Do some research on that if you plan on playing some professional sports. Okay. So we have our savings account now linked to our checking. So Omega, there's no reason you should be overdrawing your checking account because you have a savings account, because I know you save 10% of your money. And it'll come to the rescue, but you're going to be better at managing your money and tracking your spending so that you don't have to rely on your overdraft protection, because you don't want to spend the money you saved on food because you can't manage your money. Big mistakes we see young folks make. You're not going to be one of them. I know we talked about what type of checks does banks or financial institutions offer that's guaranteed money. As I saw some of you struggling with that. So I want to show you what that means. Anybody heard of money orders? Anybody heard of a cashier check, certified check? So a money order is not one of those. You get that from the post office or from convenience stores, but it's usually up to $1,000. A certified check is, here's an example. There's a car that you want to buy from somebody, and they don't want your check. They want a guaranteed check. So you come see me at the bank. Hey, I want a certified check or cashier's check. That means that you already have the money in your account to cover it. So let's say the car costs $5,000. I'm going to withdraw $5,000 to get that check. That check is $5,000. It's guaranteed. All right. It's not going to bounce because you had to have the money to get it. That's why it's called a cashier's check or certified check. And when people go buy cars or houses, they have to get that from the bank. Okay. Just information. You don't have to worry about that right now until you start getting ready to buy cars. Because you won't be able to buy it with a debit card. You know why? Because a debit card, you have a limit as to how much you can spend a day on the debit card. So let's say you had $10,000 in the bank. You pull out your debit card. You want to buy something for $5,000. It's going to decline because the bank sets a protection limit of $1,000 per day. So you don't have to worry about that. Talk about budget. Tell me what a budget is. Speak up. Okay, what do you think it is? I see you looking at that. That's great. Let's get a little bit deeper into it. I want to give you a sample budget that adults use. All right. You graduated from college or high school. You have to pay rent, mortgage. What is a mortgage? Anybody know what a mortgage is? Is that right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to get that next time I'm here. Where'd you do that at? Which school was it? We spend a lot of time in schools doing this. That is what most adults use to manage their affairs. You have a job. What's the first thing on a budget? What's the very first thing on a budget? You have to know how much you make, right? What is that called? Say that again. Income. Well, income. Carson. You're out of high school now. You're out of college now. You have a tech degree. You work at IBM now. You make at least $8,000 a month. Realistically, okay? That's how much you make. So your income is $8,000 a month. All right. Let's just give you the benefit of tax. They already took the taxes out and your retirement plan, all that stuff. This is the money that you have to pay your bills with and live off of. You make $8,000 a month. What's the first thing you're going to do now that that money is direct deposited in your account? This is where the education comes in at. Here's the first thing I want you to do when you get your salary. Save 10%. What is 10% of 8,000? Here's the easiest way to determine that. We're going to move the decimal point one place. So I moved the decimal point one place. How much is this? $800. So that's $10 for every $100 that you make, okay? What are we going to do with that 10%? You bet your, yes, we are. So 10% is going to go in your savings account. All right. So now you have $800 in your savings account every month, 10% every month. How much is that in a year? What's 800 times 12? You have phones. Use your calculator. $9,600, $99,600. Is that what we have? Keep saving 10% of your money. So now you have income. What's the next? I gave you a sample of a budget. You have to pay your expenses. Expenses could be different for everybody. Rent, mortgage. A mortgage is if you own your home. The money that you borrow from the bank to buy a house is called a mortgage. If you're renting, then you're paying rent. All right. Insurance, car payment, food, clothing, gas, other things that you be saving for. Look at some of those expenses. Everybody see what it says expenses? And in some cases, a lot of expenses that's geared to around our children, right? I have to pay additional expenses for my daughter because she lives with her mom, okay? I have a car, I have loans, I have credit cards, I have all that stuff I have to pay, all right? So bills, you see the example of that? The goal is not to have as many expenses so you can have more income, right? But it don't always work out that way. So you have your income, you have your savings, and you have your expenses. What's money left over called? You done paid all your bills. You're thinking. So every month, Carson, you make $8,000. You save $800 of it. You pay all your bills, and then let's say you have, after you paid your bills, you have $5,000 left over. What is that money called? That extra money every month. It's on your questions. It's one of your questions. It's one of the questions on the game. Say that again. Speak up louder. Disposable income. It's great to have disposable income because guess what you could do with that disposable income? You can work towards your goals. All right. In addition to saving that money, you can invest money, you can pay off some of the debt, you can get yourself some things that you have been planning for. Okay. Maybe a vacation, maybe something nice, but not necessarily to go spend. The goal is to get you to save and invest money so that when you lose your job or something different happens, you're playing pro ball, you twisted your ankle, you can't play, you got cut. Now you have money to live off of. You have to build yourself an emergency fund. How much should an emergency fund, on an emergency fund, how many months of income should you have on an emergency fund? So you make $8,000 a month at IBM, and they decided to lay you off. All right. But you've been saving that money, all right, between your disposable income and the savings, you have X amount of months of money built up to say, hey, no problem. I have the skill set. There's other places that value my talent. I'm not worried about IBM. I have this and I have money saved. How much money should you have had saved if something like that was to happen? How many months? You almost said it. You almost said it. 3 to 6 months of emergency money is a goal that you should have. So if Carson is out of work for 3 to 6 months, he's not worried about it because he can already cover all his monthly expenses because you've already prepared for that. All right. So that's the goal, to work on 3 to 6 months. What do you think? All right. Let's get on to another area. We learning something so far, Carson? All right, because I legitimately see you making probably more than this when you come out of college. Young folks now are making way more money than their parents make. You're a lot smarter. You have access to more resources, but you have to know what to do with this. Most of Americans, not most, 40% of Americans, that's a lot, only have $300 in a savings account. Only $300. Less than $300. 40% of Americans. So what happens when you blow a tire? Car go bad. What happens? You only have $300 in a savings account. You didn't save that $8,000 you were making. You wasn't saving 10% of that. So you don't have a savings. Your savings balance, Carson, is nothing, because you just don't save. You just take that $8,000 you spend and you just get you nice cars, do all kind of fun stuff, but you didn't save any money. Now you're laid off and your car just went bad. What are you going to do? Does it sound like a scary situation? Unfortunately, it happens. People, while they're making income, don't think about the fact that they're going to need income tomorrow in case an emergency happens, or in case their kids get sick, or in case anything happens. They don't have that money to rely on. Because when you work for a job, it's not guaranteed. I'm not guaranteed my job tomorrow. Even though I've been there 23 years, I'm not guaranteed that when I go back next week, that's like, hey, we're making some organizational changes. You're going to have to find something else. Okay? Happens every day. And that's why you owe it to yourself to build your financial safety net, so you don't have to worry about this. So budget your money. Slide on with that real quick. Kaysen, you with me, buddy? All right. Huh? Look, you're not by yourself. I struggle in that department. I said, I don't know how I'm gonna handle the kids today, but I'm gonna have to figure it out. When I come back the next time, I'm gonna do an exercise. I'm gonna turn you all into grown folks. Y'all ready for that life? I'm gonna make you 20 years older when I come back. Everybody's gonna be 20 years older. You're gonna be adults. I'm gonna give you a career. I might even give you some kids. Who knows? But we're gonna do a simulation, and I want you to make financial choices. So just know the next time you see me, that's what we're gonna do. I think, Kaysen, you said they did that at your school? Yeah. Yeah, well, we do that all the time. And I love seeing how young people think. It really creates awareness. Okay. We covered some of this the last time I was here about having a bank relationship, being able to talk to somebody like myself in case something happened, setting goals. That's what we didn't talk about, setting goals. You have an $8,000 job. I encourage everybody to have a short-term goal. What's a short-term goal? Short-term. Like less than a year. What's a short-term goal? Something that you want for yourself a year from now, right? It could be a phone. It could be a video game that you one of those new video games that's coming out. You may not can get it right now, but you save and prepare to get that. You know, that could be a short-term goal. What's considered a long-term goal? Give me an example of a long-term goal. Long-term, that means something 10 or more years. All right. Something that you see yourself having 10 or more years. What do you see yourself 10 or more years having that you can start preparing and investing or saving for now? Could it be a new car? Could it be a house? 30 years from now, 40 years, 50 years from now, what do you think that can be? When you're my age, what could that be? What about retirement? My goal now is retirement. 5 more years, I'm retired. I know I look 30. When are you going to retire, man? Yeah. Well, I have a 16-year-old, so I don't see retirement anytime soon. Parents ever told you no for anything? Does that look familiar? Yo, Pop, I wanted to get that. Nah, you can't have it. Because what did you want? I'm talking about something that you want to buy, something you wanted to buy you, or something you want your parents to buy you, and they're like, nah, I can't do this right now. Anybody been told no by their parents? Something you really wanted? I know when I got to high school, I wanted the leather Dr. J leather Converse All Stars. That was at the time a $40 pair of shoe, which was very expensive at the time because Dr. J was Michael Jordan at that time. That was a very expensive shoe, just like Jordans today, right? I really wanted those shoes, and I begged her for months and months and months for them. She was like, nope, can't do it. But she ended up getting them. I had to earn them. So why do you think your parents will tell you no?
Focus on the stuff you need.
That's a really good one. And not only that, that budget I gave you don't know what they're managing on that budget. You don't know how much money they're saving. You don't know their financial condition to want something really expensive. Would you agree with that? Because they're not going to tell you about their financial situation. They're going to say yes or no. Or they may say, hey, look, if you do this, you do this, you do this, I'll think about it. Right? You know, you look in your room, the room never clean. You never take out the trash. You know, you never pick up behind yourself. You never clean up the dishes. I'm speaking for my household now, right? Because they always asking me for stuff, and I look around. I look in their bathroom. I look in their room. I always have to tell them to take the trash out. You think I'm going to buy them something they're not doing what they're supposed to do at home? So I'm giving y'all a heads up. You know, parents would really love to do more for you, but you do kind of have to earn it. You all have your own personal bathrooms in some cases. How many of you get up, make your bed, and keep your room clean? Devin, you want to tell me something?
Me and my sister on after a guy who had a dog, but he only says no. The reason why because he hates dogs.
You're gonna kill it.
No, it's just he hates dogs.
I tell you what, why don't you do this? Why don't you do the work and determine how much it costs to own a dog? Between getting the shots, getting them groomed, having to get a dog bed, having to get everything, the food, certain types of food, and you'll realize the cost of a dog. So what type of advice did you get from your parents about money? What's the best advice you got from someone, whether it's your parents or someone in your home, your uncle, somebody? What did they tell you about money? If someone told you something about money, because I can't imagine that you're seventh graders and no one's told you anything about money, because you do get money in some way or fashion. All right. Always save a little bit. They told you that, right? That is really good advice because that's kind of what I'm telling you too, right? Right? What other advice have you got? Kason, what have you received? I'm gonna pick at you a little bit, Case, because you have me for a few more minutes. Because you're gonna be a pro baller one day, and I want you to get this. Go ahead, London.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Don't spend it all in one place. Give me an example.
Like what? Like I want to be shopping to give me like a $20 budget. I only ended up using like $15 because I didn't want that much.
That's a good example. Thank you, London. Omega, what's an example? I'm sorry, Omega, give me an example of give me some advice you received.
Just to save. I think that's it.
Would it be fair to say that your parents or someone say that every time you get money, save something? Is that the biggest thing they're telling you? They are 100% correct. Saving money is important. And don't spend it all. If I gave you $100 right now, you're going to go spend $100? You're going to save some for later, right? Because if you come to me and say, I need to get some deodorant and toothpaste, I'm like, well, I gave you $100 2 weeks ago. Oh, no, you good. Cutting you off. I gave you $100 2 weeks ago. What'd you do with that money? That's what parents going to do. That's what I'm going to do. What do you spend your money on now? How do young people spend money right now?
I'll just like save it.
Really now?
Sometimes.
So you save some, but what do you spend it on? Clothes, video games?
Like food, but not all the time. So I want to get a bunch of stuff.
Food is, I know food is an automatic for young folks. About you, London.
So when it's my birthday, I don't usually get to keep it because my parents take it. Because like once my grandpa gave me like $50 for my birthday, my mom took it and she never gave it back to me. He never gave it back. He said I'm gonna just hold it. I haven't got it.
Oh man, London just diming out her parents today, isn't she? I promise you that it's something for your greater good. What do you spend money on?
I'll just save it. That's it.
Savings and food? That's all y'all spend money on, just food? Nobody buy video games anymore? Nobody, like, just food? Don't buy clothes? None of that.
You guys like getting those like Robux and what is the Xbox one? You can buy like money for video games. Like it's more like it's not an actual physical video game. Like subscription. You know?
Yeah, I had a Steam subscription. I had the Xbox. I had all of them because I had 3 kids. I keep them entertained. Okay. I just like knowing what young people spend money on. Because when I do material and I'm setting examples, I want to be able to use the examples that you give me. Because food is definitely facts. My son worked at Pizza Hut in high school. He made $110 every 2 weeks. He spent 95 plus back at the same Pizza Hut buying pizza and breadsticks and Coke. So he worked for free. Isn't that crazy? He worked at Pizza Hut and he was giving them their money back. So he was free help. Didn't make sense to me. But let's talk about spending. And we'll end at this. Why do most people overspend? They have money, and this is adults, they just overspend. Staying in debt, not having money saved. They just overspend. Why do people do that? Let's see what SpongeBob have to say. SpongeBob said people spend money because they want to keep an image. Personal maintenance, keep the haircut fresh, nice shoes, nice clothes, nice bling, whatever it is. People spend money on images. Would you agree with that? Nice shoes, nice whatever. People want to be seen because they have this image, and it's costly. Okay. Avoidance. You at the mall with all your friends, right? And they all decide to go to somebody decided to go to this really expensive place to eat. So that everybody's buying the food, and you only have like $50. And it's going to cost like 30 something dollars to eat. It's like, well, I don't normally eat here, but since I'm with my friends, I'm going to spend that money too. So you're caught up in a situation where I don't want to be the one that's not eat here because all my friends are. So you're going to spend the money too, so you don't look or feel left out. That happens a lot. Now, a lot of adults spend money because, well, put it this way. You're going to get a check next week. You're getting some birthday money next week. You're getting $200. And you're already on Amazon buying stuff. You haven't got the money yet, but you already started spending because when you get it, then you're going to go ahead and, pay the money. Most adults do that. Let's say, I'm going to go ahead and use my credit card. I'm going to buy this. And when I get my tax refund, I'm going to go ahead and pay it off. They spent the money before they got it. Some people spend money because they have to have it now. They can't wait for it to go on sale. They can't wait to have the new iPhone, whatever it is now. They want it now. They can't wait until it price decrease. It's called immediate gratification. Delayed gratification means that I'm willing to save and wait for it to go on sale or not have it right now. I'll get it in 6 months and I'll pay less for it and I'll be better suited at the time for it. So you're better off if you can exercise delayed gratification. I mean, you don't have to have it right now. You can wait for it. Okay? Some people spend because they was poor as a child and they don't want to be reminded of being poor. So maybe they ate hamburger helper and ramen noodles every day and wore cheap clothes. And now it's like, my kids, we're not going to do any of that now. We're going to spend more so we don't be reminded of being poor. I love hamburger helper and I do like ramen noodles, but I don't eat it anymore. Sense of power. That's an example. Let's say I'll go into a store and there's some coats in there that's $500 or nice suits. I'm like, I like these suits. But maybe I decide to go to the store with my cap turned around to the side. I'm kind of chilled out that day, right? I'm not looking like I just left the bank. And I walk in there and somebody works there and look at me and make an assumption that I can't afford it, right? Because they look at me. I'm not dressed in my suit and tie, right? I'm dressed chill. I'm in my sweats. I'm chilling that day, So I go in there and they're not giving me good service. They're acting like I don't belong in there. And I said, you know what? Give me 2 of them. Just because you think I can't afford it. Now, maybe I did not want those jackets, but because that person made me feel like I couldn't afford them, I buy them anyway, right? Happens car lots. Guy walk up on the car lot with old jeans, old clothes on, and he could have a boatload of money. So you shouldn't make assumptions on how people dress. Gotta give him bad service and he pay cash for the car just because you made an assumption. So that gave that person a sense of power. Can you see the relation in that? Okay. You are a world-class chef. You just chilling. Get your dreads, your hoodie. You going to the store. You looking around. They're like, what are you doing in here? Like, as a matter of fact, I'll have half that right there. I'm going to need that. Boom. It's your sense of power. All right. Can't say no. So I picked my daughter up last night. Took her to the movies. My ticket was less than her ticket because I'm a senior now. Can you believe that? I get the senior discount on tickets. Get in the movies. What do you want to eat? The popcorn, the big slushies, all that. I think I spent like $75. It wasn't part of the budget, but it's my daughter. And every time I get a chance to spend with my daughter, who's 16, I can't say no. If she wants something, I'll make it happen. I love my baby girl. And most parents are that way about their kids. So sometimes you just can't say no. So you have your raffle ticket for today, right? I got a couple things. While I'm preparing for this raffle, since we're pretty chill, laid back crowd today, what's something specific that you learned today that you're gonna think heavily on? You're gonna practice. What did you learn today? Budgeting. What did you learn about budgeting? You on track. You on track, man. You still get a pound. What did you learn, Casey? Say that again louder.
That you're not supposed to own,
Don't overdraft your money. You get a checking account, link your savings account. Don't spend less than what you have. You have to look at your bank statement to track it, know what you're spending your money on, know how much money you're spending on stuff. Okay? London.
Save at least 10% of your.
Save at least 10%. Some of the advice you got was always save a little bit, right? Practice saving 10% because over time, that should take care of any emergency that you have. Devin.
Don't know how they dress.
Don't do what?
How they dress. Don't just do how they dress.
Don't make assumptions on people on how they look. You never know. Because most people that have a lot of money don't walk around looking like they have a lot of money. I have customers that are multi-million-dollar customers. All right. I've been in banking for 35 years. And I've had some really wealthy customers. And when they come in the bank, they have their old overalls, they drive no pickup truck. They're not driving flashy BMWs and Audis and all. They're not spending their money on that. That's not the value in that. They may own a lot of real estate, a lot of land. They have a boatload of money in their accounts. They have a lot of CDs. What's a CD? Certificate of deposit. What that is, they have a big chunk of money. Let's say they have $100,000 that they don't need. They put it in a certificate of deposit. And for a period of time, whether it's a year or 6 months, they'll earn a higher rate of interest, right? The savings may earn this much, but a CD will earn you this much. They don't have to touch it. And it's making them more money. You understand? And they have a whole bunch of them, all right? So don't make assumptions on people how they look. And a lot of times you see folks with all these big houses and fancy cars. In some cases, they're doing it to impress people. Don't get in the habit of spending money because you about your image. Be about making the money. Be about saving your money. Okay. Anybody else want to share what they learned? Thank you for sharing. We good? Well, let's see what we have to offer today. I have some little small prizes. Nothing big time. Let's see. What do we have? Nicer. First aid kit. And I have a pretty cool. We give this out. Our financial advisors give this out to our folks. Just a little pad. But I'm going to add something with this. I'm going to add my favorite pencil, my favorite pen. With the stylus, Coastal Credit Union. I'm going to include this with it. All right. So we'll do it in this order. Which one you think should be last? This one or this one? It should be last? Okay. All right. We're going to start off with the cup. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody wins. Piggy bank. Now, we won't do it like that. All right. Piggy bank or frisbee? Which one should I auction? Piggy bank. Keep your loose change in it. All right. Let's have some fun with this. Everybody look at the tickets. This is for the piggy bank. Right. Call it out.
752-803.
803. 752-803. Who's that? 752-803. All right, you get the piggy bank. I'll take your ticket file. This will be for the cup, just like this.
806.
806. All right. Getting on up. Now we have the first aid kit. First aid kit. 807. Who's 807? 807.
802.
You got some Band-Aids. I know some of you always ask for Band-Aids. Who's 807?
I'll take it.
Somebody's 807. No. Did you say 807? You know what? There is no 807. Lucky. I thought I put that one back. There is no 807. I forgot about that.
805.
805. 805. Who's 805? All right. Got some Band-Aids in there, all the cool stuff. All right.
802.
802. Who's 802? This is for the cup. 802. Keep the nice straw, nice quality cup right there. Now, for my very special Coastal Stylus pen and portfolio note taker,
804.
804. Who's 804? You 804? All right. All right. Good job. Did any folks online have any questions about any material we covered today? Okay. I wish they were here to engage in the fun, but I hope there was something they was able to take away. All right. Anybody have any questions for me about anything? Go for it. Yes. You protect yourself by looking at your bank statement. And that's not the only way. You can go to another ATM machine. You can go to a gas station. There's all kind of interfaces that they put there to capture your data. There's QR codes that's out there that are fake QR codes, right? So technical people are getting more and more technical about how they can access your money, right? And you can't necessarily stop it. But here's what we can do. We can tell you to review your bank statement. If you recognize that this is something I did not do because someone compromised your data, then that's when we get involved to either one, block the card we issue. Can I have your attention, please? Block the card we issue, refund your money, get to the root of it. Sometimes, in some cases, reopen your account. But if it's related to your debit card, we can freeze it, block it, and issue one same day. But yeah, that's why they have wallets and certain type things with, I think they call it RFD device protection, where someone walked past you. You can be in a certain area, and if you're within that zone, your data's getting captured. Okay? So it's all kind of stuff out there that's out for your money. Here's another one, fraud. People get emails with links on it, all right? All kind of scams. Everybody's trying to do something to fool you or trick you into giving up your personal data or information or something like that. And so you have to be mindful that, hey, I'm not expecting this, so why am I going to do this? And there's an old saying, if it's too good to be true, 9 times out of 10, it's a fraud. It's a scam. Thanks for asking that question. We do fraud prevention seminars sometime too. Talk about fraud and things that's going on out there. There's some really, really slick ones out there that can fool some of the best. One of my customers a month ago, who's retired, very wealthy, have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank with us. And they just happen to have my personal information. They've been retired IBM for over 10 years. So she had that Norton antivirus scam, all right? where they say they overpaid her, and so she was trying to pay it back. And then somehow she gave them access to her computer because she thought she was dealing with Norton, and they were trying to get her to. They scammed her, trying to get her to send $100,000. That's a scam. I said, hang up your computer, take it to Geek Squad, and it's happening all the time. Did you see the movie The Bee Killer?
The bee killer?
Yeah, no, not The Bee Killer, The Beekeeper.
Yeah, we watch that one.
You saw The Beekeeper? Did you see how the lady got scammed? How she get that happens every single day. It's that same scam, but they use the Norton scam. They use a new iPhone or a laptop to make you think you bought something, and they're like, "Well, we'll refund you the money," and they access your computer and get you to, and they overpay. Right? All they do is move money from another account, make you think you have something, and then they wipe you out once you give them that information. And she was an elderly person with money. She had saved all her life. They hacked her. She believed that they were helping her, and they took all her money. And then you saw the result that what happened.
Is that why people scam like older people?
A lot of older people get scammed because it's a lot of reasons. But yeah, they're big targets. And I can't count how often we have to stop them and say, this is not legitimate. This is a scam. And some of them don't believe me when I'm telling them. So we kept a lady from walking out the door with $30,000 in cash that she was going to give to somebody, thinking it was a legitimate something. I'm like, man, that's a scam. Nobody's going to ask you to withdraw $30,000 in cash. One, you shouldn't have that much money in cash. You're not even supposed to really withdraw that without us doing some type of a currency transaction report, so to speak. Yeah. I think that piggy's out of control. So the whole point is to get you understanding how things work about money. The sooner you know, the better. When I come back, you're going to be 20 years older. You hear me? It's going to get real. You're going to have to get cars, houses, food, baby clothes, pay for your kids' entertainment. Everything that your parents do for you, you're going to have to do it for somebody. I'm going to give you some credit card debt. I'm going to give you all that. And I'm going to make some things happen you wouldn't expect it to see how you cover it. It's going to be fun, though, right? It's going to be fun. It's going to be educational. You ready for it?
Yeah.
I really want to see you here.
I can't wait for that one.
I really want to see you here. We'll do it right here in our seats. I'll give some examples. I'll give you a worksheet. We'll do it. Bring your parents. I want to see everybody.